How's it going, guys? Just want to make a quick video about this whole these Donald Trump revelations. When he was talking about grabbing pussies and trying to fuck a married woman and all of that kind of stuff. When I first heard about this incident, I really wasn't bothered about what Donald Trump was talking about, just walking up to certain women in certain instances and feeling on their pussies and all of that kind of stuff. That didn't bother me, because I know there are guys who do that, and I know there are women who also do that, who it doesn't bother them. What bothered me was when Donald Trump was talking about trying to have sex with a woman that he knew was married. My initial reaction was, there's no way I can support this guy. There's no way I can vote for this guy. How dare him try to have sex with a married woman and all of that kind of stuff. And that was my initial reaction. Me being 54, I'm 54 years old now, and that was my initial reaction. I can't support this guy. But then later on, I started thinking about some of the stuff that I did when I was in my 20s, and it's making me, I'm having a hard time with this one. When I was in my 20s, I had sex with at least 3 or 4 women who I either knew were married or they told me they were married. One woman was it was somebody that I had gone to high school. We both went to the same high school where we met when we were in high school, and we used to date. We used to have sex, boyfriend, girlfriend type stuff. We ended up going our separate ways. She ended up getting married. She married a military guy. They moved away to where he was doing his training, and eventually they moved back to our hometown. She just called me out of the blue one day, years later, after we had been dating, that we dated. She just called me up out of the blue, wanted to get together, date, whatever. We went out. We ended up having sex. And I knew she was married. Now, these things happened when I was in my 20s, well before I was married, well before my son was born, and yeah, I had sex with her. I didn't have a problem with it. Then back then I was working in restaurants, and when you're a guy working in restaurants, one of the restaurants I worked in was in a tourist district. You meet a lot of women. But I met, and when you're a waiter in a restaurant in a tourist district, when you're working at late shift, you get off like at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Me and some of my coworkers, we did a lot of clubbing. We used to hit the clubs, dance clubs, at least 3 times a week. Obviously you meet a lot of women at the clubs. I met a woman at a dance club. We ended up having sex in my car. She told me she was married. I was like, I don't care. We had sex in the car, never saw her again. Met another woman. She was from a small town. Her and 2 of her girlfriends came to what they considered the big city. I met them on the streets after I finished my shift. I'm thinking that I'm going home. They're walking. I meet them on the streets, and they're like, hey, there's our waiter, blah, 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 whatever. Hey, come hang out with us. Come party with us. They had already had 2 guys. They had already picked up 2 other guys from wherever. And the 3rd girl, she wanted to be with me. We ended up going back to their hotel room. She told me she was married. We ended up having sex. It's like 6 of us in one hotel room. I'm having sex with this married woman. It didn't bother me at that time. I went ahead and did it. And I'm trying to think. And then there were a couple of other women that I met. met, that I came this close to having sex with, that I knew for sure were married. One woman I met at a management training session. All of us were away from our hometown. We were all out of state, staying at a certain hotel. She asked me to come over to her room. We did everything but have intercourse. All right, and I knew she was married. And another woman, her husband, same thing. I knew for sure she was married. We did everything but have intercourse. But on each of those occasions, they were like, right when we got up to the very end, they were just like, hey, look, I can't do this. I got to be faithful to my husband. I was just like, okay, whatever. It didn't bother me. But in each one of those occasions, it was the married woman who initiated the entire act. So when people are saying what Donald Trump was saying about grabbing pussies and how that's disrespectful to women, we have to keep in mind that there are women out there who, married women and single women, who don't have a problem with Donald Trump's behavior. There's all types of people. Like now, there's no way I would have sex with a married woman because I'm older now. I grew out of that stage. But we have to keep in mind that there are some people, both male and female, who never grow out of that stage. They can be married or single, but they still want to act like teenagers. They still want to act like they're in their early 20s. So I'm just having a real problem with this one. And so you just have to ask yourself, where do you draw the line? And initially, I drew the line when Trump said he was trying to have sex with a married woman. And but then after I thought about my own past, I'm like, okay, I did the same thing. But I didn't initiate it. Even though I did not initiate it, I did have sex with married women. So now my line is blurred. I don't know what to think about this whole situation. One of the things that inspired me to upload this video was a video that was uploaded by the Niccolo 4. I subscribe to his channel, and I will put a link to his channel in the description box. Talk to you guys later. Bye.